Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Friday Night Chill with Will. And Happy New Year to you all. This is the first episode of 2024, so I hope your guys' holidays were all very lovely and fun, and you guys had a good one. The last time I talked to you guys was a few days before Christmas, so Christmas and New Year's both happened since the last episode. So, yeah, hope those were fine, with family visiting or you visiting family. It can be a lot during the holidays because for some reason, you have to put up with a lot of bullshit that you normally wouldn't have to. But, mine was okay. I, visited with some relatives, but wasn't anything too crazy. It was only like a few hours on the day of the holidays, and then I got to go home. It was mostly Christmas, now that I think about it, so kind of lucked out. And as far as like New Year's and stuff, that was pretty low key as well. I just kind of went to a friend's house and we got kind of drunk, and I got my ass kicked in Super Smash Brothers multiple times. It was a lot because I do not play video games. I don't know if you know that about me. I don't know if I've ever really stated it. I don't know why I would, but yeah, I'm not really a big video game player. I have some video games like on my PC, but I am never the type of person where I don't know, like I just don't find myself defaulting to playing a video game if I'm bored. I would rather like I would rather watch like a let's play of a video game, because it's like less demanding, because it's just like, oh yeah, let me just experience this thing rather than like having to use my brain and be strategic or whatever. Um, but whatever. Yeah, I definitely do not play console games. I haven't had a console video game system in quite some time. I want to say the last video game console I bought was I guess like a home console, not like a handheld one, would have been a Wii, and that was like 2011. So yeah, even when I got the Wii, it was already kind of like past its prime. So, and I just kind of got it because it was cheap, which was kind of a horrible reasoning to do that. I picked a weird system to buy and just horrible reasoning. There was really nothing that I ended up really using it for. And then like after that, I think the next thing I bought was a 3DS, or not a 3DS, a 2DS, because that one was cheaper. I got that one specifically to play Pokemon Y, and I beat the game, and I never played anything else on it except maybe like a handful of games that I got on clearance. But like, yeah, I've just never been like a big video game guy, I guess. I don't know. Some people have said I should try streaming video games, but I'm just like, I'm not very good at it. And I know like a lot of people that stream aren't very good at video games. You kind of just watch streamers playing video games for the, I guess, the community aspect and like the that part of it. I don't know. It just sounds like a lot of work. I can barely get this whole setup going, and to be like streaming and playing video games, and it's just like a lot of freaking different things going on, and I just do not have, I don't have the mental fortitude for it right now. Right now, you get me talking to a camera, um, you know, just about whatever, and there's like nothing else I have to focus on. So that's what you're getting from me right now. Um, but anyway, that tangent aside, so I was hoping I could start off this year with things looking a little bit different on this set, but quite a few things have happened that have just put a wrench in that happening. I was hoping to like have the first episode with a guest on it this year. I was hoping that would happen, but the only guess we're getting is this zit on my face that just showed up randomly on Tuesday. So that's really cool. If you're listening to the audio of this, you're not seeing it, but everyone who sees my face right now can see it, and I've been seeing it all week. It's great. It's nice to know at 31 I can still get zits in the most inconvenient of spaces. But anyway, so I was trying to, deck out my room here to just kind of make the background a little bit more exciting and stuff. Just to change up the vibes for Friday Night Chill for 2024. It's great. What I got works, and I don't mind it, but I would like there to be a specific atmosphere specifically for the podcast. So I had an idea, and I got really stuck on the idea, and then when it didn't work, I felt very defeated and just kind of gave up. So let me run you what my idea was, okay? Let me just go over it with you so you can kind of see this vision. You might need to actually watch the video portion, video version of the podcast for this, specific segment. But, if you've seen it, then you just gotta just follow along. Listen with your ears and just visualize in your mind what I'm thinking, okay? So we have my lovely pride flag back there, and that's great. I love that. That's really fun. That's great. I wanted to keep that, but I did want to enhance the background. If you see right over here, I have boxes piled up, and what those boxes are Lightning Collection boxes. And if you recall, a majority of the Lightning Collection boxes feature artwork by Tom Whalen. Of each ranger on the side, and those make great display pieces. It's just a nice simple way to have some little art on display. And so I was thinking, I have all of these boxes from all of my Lightning Collection figures, because I have just about every box from every Lightning Collection figure I've ever bought, and I'm like, I really would like to display the art on these boxes because it's very nice. And so I was brainstorming and I was thinking about how I would do this. And then one day I thought, it would be kind of cool, since, the proportions of the art are just so slim, you could kind of just like put it on a shelf and just have it going across a shelf, and it just looks like this big, nice little collage or whatever of art. And so my thought was, all right, well, this should be pretty simple to accomplish, because the boxes are all empty. I take out everything from the boxes outside of the plastic tray. I file all the hands and accessories and all that in little storage containers. And as far as the boxes, it's just the plastic tray and the cardboard box. So it's like they're very light. There's nothing in there. So I'm like, all right, cool. So what if I found some type of shelving that I could put up here on this ledge right here in the back, if you see where I'm pointing. Right there. What if I put just like a little shelf that could hold the weight of those boxes and just have them going right across, just straight across the background? It's just a nice little stripe. It would probably cut off at the door, because it wouldn't go that far, but just a nice little stripe, of artwork on these boxes. And I was like, all right, cool. That's fine. That sounds cool. And then I thought even further, and I was like, wait a minute. My dad gifted me an LED strip years ago, and I have just never thought of a use for it. It just hasn't come to mind. And I've seen plenty of people use LED strips in their rooms, and usually they put it in the corners or whatever, just to light up the edges of their ceiling. And I'm like, that's great. That's good use of the light, because it gets everywhere. It's even. Totally get it. But what my thinking is if I get like an acrylic shelf, right, something clear that you can see through, I could just line that area with the boxes and then put the LED strip underneath the shelf so it looks like it's illuminating from underneath the shelf. And then it would illuminate my lovely pride flag right here. And I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. That sounds great. That sounds like a thing that we could actually do and get done. And so we attempted it. Okay? We attempted that probably New Year's Day, maybe. It was at least the first week of the year. And I was feeling pretty good. A lot of stuff went right. Going into the new year, we were doing a lot of cleaning, a lot of resetting, donating some stuff that I didn't really need anymore, especially like clothes and stuff. And so I was like, all right, cool, I'm doing all this stuff. Let me go ahead and buy these acrylic shelves, man. Let's go ahead and get them. So I got these acrylic shelves, and here they are. Like, they're great, right? I was like, okay, cool. These are like lightweight, relatively. They are kind of heavy, but I'm like, they're just holding up boxes. They should be fine, right? And so I got some of those, and then I also got some command strips, right? Some command strips. I got the medium pairs. They hold up to 12 pounds. I was like, okay, 12 pounds. Perfect. That should be totally fine because, again, these shelves are just holding up empty boxes. There should be no problems here. And so, all the things come in. I buy all the things. We're ready. I start going through the Lightning Collection boxes. I'm like, all right, which ones are going first? How are they going? How are we doing this? What's the dealio? How are we doing this? And so I do the command strip thing. I wipe down the wall with alcohol first. I prep it exactly the way I follow the manufacturer's instructions to a T. To a T. And, I grab these shelves, press them on, I let them sit for a bit, let it sit for an hour so that way the glue can, like, stick to the wall. And, probably 20, 30 minutes later after I put the boxes on it, they all just fall. And, like, this one fell on the corner and it broke, which was fine because, it was basically gonna look like this. I think they are intended to be hung up this way so that way there's like a ledge where the thing you have on the shelf won't fall. But my intention was to just do it this way so that way I could hide the LED strip right here. But that did not work. Everything fell. One of them, like that one chipped. I am pretty sure another one kind of cracked. I can't remember. It's right here in this box, but I'm not gonna pull it out because I don't want to be disappointed yet again. But yeah, so those fell and those broke, and I was completely disheartened towards doing anything else to change the background, despite having so many assets available to do so. So yeah, that's kind of what happened there. So since then, I have been just kind of brainstorming other ways I can change up the environment in here, specifically for the podcast. But I'm kind of landing on nothing at the moment. I might just end up doing the LED strip anyway, and I might just put it in this little groove right here underneath there without the shelf, because fuck the shelf at this point. I feel silly having to drill holes in my wall because I don't care about drilling holes in my wall. I've lived here for quite a few years. I don't think I'm getting my security deposit back, so I don't care about getting that when I move out. So I don't care about drilling holes in my wall. Don't care about that. I just think it's very silly. I have to drill holes in my walls so I can display empty cardboard boxes. I think that is very silly. And command strips, I need to understand why the paint on my wall and just in my apartment in general cannot seem to hold your products. I don't understand, because I put a command strip on a mirror that was on this, not this door right here, but there's my closet door out of camera frame right here. And it was there for months. It was like 3 months. And then one morning at like 5 a.m., most random time ever. One morning at 5 a.m., I wake up to a large thud and crash. And I think I'm getting my house broken into. But no, it was just the command strip giving up on holding up my mirror after holding on my door for like 6 months. Or 3 months, whatever I said before. It was a while. So, yeah, so basically me and command strips got beef at the moment. So, yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know. The whole thing is like, I don't know. The whole thing is just annoying. I would have liked it to work. It's just like, I feel like this happens a lot where like I try and do something really cool and then like it doesn't turn out the way I think it will, or just one thing goes like totally wrong. And so it just completely discourages me from doing it ever again. So I don't know. I have these acrylic shelves now, and now it's like, well, shit. How am I going to use them? Because I still want to use them, obviously. But I don't know. We'll figure something out. Like I said, I might do that LED strip there again and just do it that way. And that will probably be fine. I also got for Christmas from Ballin Plays over on Twitter. He got me some LED lights from my wish list on Amazon. So again, thank you for that. I told you that a couple times on Twitter when it happened, but if you're listening, thank you again. So I have like these 3 like LED floodlight type of things. So those are really cool. They have like little film like inserts to change the color, kind of like what stage floodlights used to have back in the day. So I've been trying to figure out how to incorporate those, and I've been toying with some stuff with those, and I think those are looking promising to change up the vibe in here. I think those will work perfectly fine. I think between that LED strip on this wall and then those 3 floodlights, we should be able to change up the vibe in here to be a little bit more chill. Because right now it's just kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of feels like the same setup I've always had in this room. And I just would like there to be like a visual distinction on here, especially since like it doesn't look like I'm moving anytime soon. So I would like some sort of ambiance in here when the show is happening. So we'll play around with that. We'll see how that goes, but I don't know, man. That whole thing, man. That was a time. Everything was going so great. And then that one stupid thing happened, and I was just, yeah. But whatever, we'll figure it out. It ain't that big a deal. And I mean, like, especially like if you guys aren't watching the video version of the podcast, and to be frank, I don't know the difference between who watches the video and who just listens to the audio. Spotify and YouTube get both versions, the video and the audio. But I'm sure there's a lot of you that just throw on the audio and just listen to me talk about whatever the fuck, which I'm appreciative of. But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like if there's a visual element to the show, I want it to look good, or as best as it can. So I don't know, man. We'll figure it out. We'll get through it. We're still figuring out how the show is gonna be looking in the next year, and changing up the vibes to be more chill. I guess these are all words that totally have a lot of meaning. but but yeah, other than that, everything in the new year seems to be starting off on the right foot, I would say. Like I had mentioned during my story, we did a lot of cleaning in my apartment. Did some purging of my closet. I could stand to do a lot more because there's just like clothes that I haven't worn in a really long time, and some clothes that just don't fit me anymore because I've put on some weight in the past few years. So there's just a lot of shirts that just do not fit me the way they used to anymore. So it's like it's time to like let it go. And then there's just some that it's because they've fit me and still fit me that I feel like I can't get rid of them. And even though I keep buying new things, I still feel like I have to keep these old things, otherwise it feels wasteful. I don't know. I psych myself out with all of that stuff, and it's just like you just gotta let go of certain things. Like why? So like for example, like why am I as a 31-year-old man still sometimes wearing my senior year from high school T-shirt? Like why am I wearing that sometimes? I don't need to be wearing that. I'm not saying get rid of it, because I do hold some sentimentality to that shirt. But, you know, tuck it away and figure out something else to do with that. So I feel like there's like a lot of things that I own where I have that sort of sentimentality to it, like t-shirts and stuff from like events and stuff from when I was younger or whatever. And I did see something like a few years back about there's like a service where you can like send in a bunch of like your old t-shirts and stuff, and they'll make a quilt out of it, which I thought was a really cool idea. Because like a quilt at least has some sort of utilitarian use. You know what I mean? Um, so I don't know. That idea has been bouncing around my head for a few years, so I don't know if I even have enough to justify doing that. But and then there's some shirts where it's just like I don't know. They're just graphic tees, and it's just like oh man. But a lot of these are like super unique, and not a lot of people had them because there was this big trend in like probably 2013, 2014 would be an accurate estimate, where there were like these t-shirt sites that would have designs on them for a day, and you could only place your order in that day, and that was it. They did a 24-hour run of these specific really niche designs, and then that was kind of it. And then like they wouldn't show up in like Hot Topic or things like that. A lot of it was Ranger related stuff. I think I ended up donating a few of those. There was one where it was Teenage Mutant Power Ninjas, and it was the Ninja Turtles, but they were like kind of painted to look like the Mighty Morphin Rangers. This is like before like any comic stuff, because the shirt was like from 2013, 2014. So the comic stuff hadn't even happened yet. So I had that for a while, and I was just like, yeah, that's a cool shirt. But it's like, and then I looked at it the day before I was getting ready to donate all that stuff, and I'm just like, why do I still have this? Like, it's cool. It's great. It's like great art, and we love supporting, great art made by people and not robots. But it's just like, I don't need to hold on to this anymore. It's been 10 years. Like you gotta let things go at a certain point. And I think that's valid. Plus, like, especially because like I'm getting so many other types of, just graphic t-shirts, like it just makes sense to just kind of cycle stuff out. Your fashion should be changing and evolving, consistently. I'm not saying like be constantly buying, fast fashion stuff and contributing to like, the big waste factor that's happening with that. But I think there's ways of, changing out your fashion without contributing to that. Especially with like thrifting and stuff like that. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can find at thrift stores, and just kind of different ways of using clothes for different things. So I don't know. I'm just trying to be more mindful of that this year, because there's just so much. There's just so many clothes I'm holding on to for no reason, because like I'm thinking about them for outfits I will never wear, and it's just like, what's the point? Should get rid of this. This is stupid, and it makes no sense. So, but yeah, so we did that. We got rid of some. We purged some of the closet. We're gonna hopefully purge some more. Hopefully within the next coming weeks or so. Got my car cleaned, which was nice. I hadn't cleaned it in a while, especially since the trip to Vegas at the beginning of December. So got that all cleaned, and that's always just really nice, when your car is just, I don't know, it just feels very zen for me when your car is like peaceful, because your car is, if you're in California at least, you're in your car a lot just because you're driving a lot of places, so it's nice for it to be clean and just manageable. So we took care of that, did some deep cleaning in the kitchen and stuff. My sister handled that stuff. And it's just a nice refresh to kick off 2024. But yeah, you guys, we're going to wrap up this episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. It was good to be back for 2024. Hopefully within the next coming weeks, you will start to see an evolution of the set here. That was kind of the focal point of tonight, for some reason. But yeah, I hope you are all having a fantastic start to your new year. And, I hope you're all getting after it and, doing what you want to do and not being too discouraged. Something I learned when all of this, stuff was happening and like the shelves broke and all that stuff is, you can't let stupid crap like that discourage you from trying to make things better. It's really easy to feel just defeated and just kind of give up on trying to do better things after the slightest inconvenience happens. Because I feel like this happens a lot with me, where just like something stupidly small happens and it just totally throws a wrench in any motivation I have to do anything cool ever. So, this whole thing, this whole debacle with changing up the set, just sort of reminded me to not let that shit get to me and figure out, ways to get around it and do the thing I want to do anyway. So, we're going to get a new set, whether this bitch ass paint on my wall wants to stick stuff on it or not. So that's just how it's going to be. So I hope you are all ready for that. It should be a fun time. Hopefully in the next coming weeks, I will get to announce some guests for the show. We're still waiting to hear back, so I will let you guys know information as soon as it becomes available, and I think it's appropriate to share with you all. So anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week and next week, and I will see you next time for another Friday Night Chill.